What's going on, guys? Luke Getsy has been fired as the offensive coordinator for the Bears, along with the quarterbacks coach and along with the wide receiver coach, I believe, or another minor position like that. So first off, what does this even mean for Justin Fields? I've seen people say that it kind of leans that Justin Fields is gone, but I kind of feel the exact opposite. I feel like they're keeping Eberflus. That probably means that you're sticking with Fields, right? I know it's like you want to get a new head coach and then you want to pair him up with the quarterback. And it's just, if we're going to keep Eberflus, we're probably sticking with Justin Fields. And I'm here for it. I like it. Another thing I want to just dapple on, out of the long list of things that I was not a fan of for Luke Getsy, is he just completely failed Justin Fields, him and the quarterback's coach especially. And what I mean by that is Justin Fields, if you look at him at Ohio State, the guy had, I wouldn't say elite footwork or anything like that, but the guy looked comfortable. He was getting deep in the pocket. He was keeping a good base. He was stepping up and he was throwing the ball deep, or he was scrambling, or he was doing what Justin Fields does. Then Justin Fields gets to the Chicago Bears. His footwork honestly immediately gets worse. If you watch a Bears game this year, you kind of see this guy in the pocket. He makes a lot of throws where he's kind of dropping back and then he's sinking in that spot and then throwing it, which I don't think is the worst thing. I think if you're more comfortable with that than stepping up into a hit or something like that, maybe more of a conventional way, I'm here for it. I'm cool with it. You know, you're kind of like a shortstop a little bit. I think your accuracy gets sacrificed a little bit, but I also think that you can still make good throws in that position. It's just a little bit harder on yourself. Now, Getsy just got fired today on Wednesday. Our season ended on Sunday, obviously. It's not like we're going to make the playoffs. People want Eberflus gone, whatever. I think Eberflus is staying at this point. But I think it's really good that we actually kept Getsy, and I'm going to tell you why. When the Bears were 2-7, it's not like you're going to make the playoffs. And I know people wanted Getsy's head on a pike. They wanted him out. I understand why. The offense looked terrible. It just wasn't very good at all. But you keep Getsy because you probably know, first of all, if you did fire Getsy, who are you going to elevate? I don't know how much. It seems like they didn't really trust the quarterback's coach or the wide receivers coach, and so they kept Getsy. Now you keep Getsy till the end of the year. The Bears actually make a little bit of a run. They actually kind of almost make the playoffs. I mean, it took to like week 16 or 15 for them to be eliminated, which is incredible. But the point is, you kept Getsy knowing that there's probably going to be a vacancy at that position next year. And the reason you keep him is because once you get rid of him, you want other coordinators and other candidates to come in to feel like they actually have a shot and actually can be trusted to come in and do what you hired them to do. If you fire Getsy by midseason, then you ask this other coordinator to come in once there's an opening. It just feels like there's a lot of pressure on that guy to perform, and if he doesn't perform, he's getting canned. And I know you can look at the Bears' previous offensive coordinators. I don't think we've had a guy here for longer than 2 years, since like 2005 to 2009. I mean, something ridiculous. And it's not like we were known for good offense back then too. But the point is, you keep Getsy, you kind of leave this offensive coordinator spot to actually be a little bit appealing. And I think that just attracts more candidates. I think it's more likely that you get a better candidate rather than having to hire someone that is being promoted to the offensive coordinator position. Now I'm quickly going to talk about some of the candidates that people have talked about, Bears media has kind of talked about. Now I'm just going to go over whether I like them or not, just kind of as a casual Bears fan. I think this is just important to talk about. I'm not going to act like I'm some expert. I know Eberflus has some connection to Frank Reich when he was 7 years old. They went to the same elementary school. You know, I'm not here to do that. But with Frank Reich being brought up, he's going to be our first guy. Now, Frank Reich obviously was the head coach in Carolina. Yeah, that was not very good. He got fired. They went 2-15. Obviously, he wasn't there for the back, 6-7 games, but it's just not good. I can't see a world where we hire Frank Reich and it turns out to be a good decision. You really don't want to hire someone that's been failing, and I don't know how much of that is on Frank Reich. I understand he was supposed to be like the perfect young quarterback guru guy, but it clearly just didn't work out with the Panthers. Second guy I'm going to talk about is Eric Bieniemy from Washington. Now, I'm kind of like meh on Eric Bieniemy. You got to keep in mind that you're working with Sam Howell, who was a 4th or 5th round draft pick, and you're kind of limited. I think they have good receivers, McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson. I think they have guys there, but that's why I kind of feel meh on Eric Bieniemy. I don't know how much of Eric Bieniemy's status is because Patrick Mahomes made him that good, or if it's him actually being a good coordinator and knowing what to do, you know? I don't know if anyone even knows. And Bieniemy really reminds me of like every assistant coach that Belichick has ever had, in the sense that Belichick obviously is amazing with Tom Brady. They win a bunch of Super Bowls. They make a lot of playoff appearances. They don't lose. And then a lot of his Belichick's assistants get hired, and they just aren't good coaches. They just aren't good head coaches. They aren't good coordinators, defensive, offensive, whatever. It just doesn't work out. And I can't help but feel some of that in my tummy, you know, towards Eric Bieniemy. So he's kind of in the meh pile. Next guy I'm going to talk about is Frank Smith. He is the Dolphins' quote-unquote offensive coordinator. Mike McDaniels calls the plays there. It's Mike McDaniels' offense. And this guy, I don't know, no pile for me. I don't think that the Bears need to be hiring not a first-time coordinator technically, but a first-time caller of the plays, if you will. It's a promotion for Frank Smith. I don't think that we need to be promoting a guy to this position to try and figure it out. I think the best case scenario, the Bears get a guy that has been there, knows what to do, has succeeded. The fourth and last guy I'm going to talk about is Greg Roman. Now, I saved him for last because he is like the holy grail savior. I think he is best case scenario for the Bears at the coordinator position, besides maybe someone like Ben Johnson, who people are really high on. I just think Ben Johnson's going to get a head coaching job, so it's kind of unfair to try to force Ben Johnson to be a coordinator for a division rival. It's just kind of, I don't think it's going to work out like that, so I'm not even considering him. But Greg Roman, he started in Baltimore in 2019. Obviously, Lamar Jackson wins MVP. Lamar Jackson develops. But besides that, Greg Roman feels like A+, S+ kind of guy that you want in the building to be calling plays for the Chicago Bears and actually give us a chance to be special like I talked about in my last video. But anyways, that's going to be the end of the video. I just wanted to hop on here and talk about Luke Getsy being fired because I think it's great news. And I want to hear what you guys think in the comments. But other than that, I appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, that'll be it. See ya.